Now that you've seen the Porter's five forces model of competition, it's important to understand the role of insulation strategies or protection from competitive pressures. What we'll talk about here are corporate level strategies that are only possible in certain circumstances. First, we consider insulation from rivalry. One possible strategy would be horizontal integration, which is simply the acquisition of or merger with a competitor, thereby lessening rivalry. Joint ventures and strategic alliances are both partnering strategies, strategies whereby two competitors may form an agreement to work on a project or service to outwit their rivals. And in doing so, these two partners who were heretofore rivals have reduced the degree of rivalry between themselves because they're now working together towards a common business goal. You're probably well aware of the XM Sirius radio merger in 2008 that completely eliminated rivalry in the satellite radio business. And we're seeing more and more automobile manufacturers enter into joint ventures and strategic alliances with other automobile companies in other parts of the world to help them better compete in their home markets. In the recent press, we've seen some activity. Kellogg's bought Pringles. Kellogg's also has a snack business besides its mainstay cereal business, and by adding Kellogg's to its snack portfolio has reduced the rivalry in its snack business. Delta Airlines, by acquiring nearly 50% of Virgin Airways, has reduced some rivalry in the markets that both Delta and Virgin Airways serve in together. And we also have seen a very successful joint venture between General Motors and a Russian car manufacturer called Autovaz. Not only have they pooled resources to outmaneuver companies in Russia, but by virtue of working together, they've reduced the level of competition between themselves, being General Motors and the Russian automaker Autovaz. Insulation from the threat of new entrants is kind of tricky. Sometimes this can be enacted by temporarily reducing prices, and if companies do this, it may make the market look unattractive to new entrants. Using patents and copyrights can be another way to keep new entrants out of a business. And finally, we've seen litigation. At the bottom of this page, you may be able to see that in 2005, Gillette filed a lawsuit claiming that this new Schick four-blade razor infringed on Gillette's technology. And they were successful in delaying Schick in getting to the market. Insulation from the threat of substitute products. The most often prescribed strategy for this is that of product differentiation. You're all well aware of Powerade. Shortly after it was introduced into 1990, Gatorade automatically diversified its portfolio of products through product differentiation, new flavors, new sizes, and Gatorade's gone a long ways even since. This collection of branded differentiated products you'll see down here at the bottom right of your screen all belong to Procter & Gamble. They continuously monitor and work product differentiation and promoting brand image so that price and substitutability is not a decision for their consumers. Insulation from supplier power. What do you do when suppliers have a great grip on the prices that they're charging you? Sometimes it's possible to go backward and integrate by becoming your own supplier. We've seen this happen in the automobile industry to some extent. It's interesting that Starbucks has backwardly integrated by owning its own coffee farms, thereby becoming their own supplier of coffee. The last insulation strategy set we'll look at is that of insulation from buyer power. Many firms try to reduce buyer power through one of two means. One is product differentiation, which Gatorade has continued to do so by differentiating so far into this G Series Pro. No other firm can compete with them. They are so far differentiated. And less often firms may choose forward integration, that is becoming their own stores. Apple makes a lot more money per iPad sold through its Apple Store by virtue of not having to pay the middleman prices that it would pay Target or Best Buy.